Latino 2024, presentado por Amazon.
Are you aching for the gray?
Luis de Mizquitl Radio, your turn.
Hi guys, hi Jim, hi team.
Hi
Some
there.
interview a great rock band. My question: 10 years after the album La Petite Mort, the feeling of the dead and the influence of the Mexican culture of the dead is still present in James. At the Vive Latino Festival, will it be possible to listen to the song Moving On?
Good. That's a good question, and we don't know, because, as I say, we choose the set list an hour before we go on stage, so we won't plan. But that's a good point. I'd forgotten that connection. We used artwork from your culture respectfully, I hope, because in the West we don't know how to face death, or how to meet death in a joyful and connected way. And so we were inspired by the Day of the Dead and the Day of the Dead artwork, and still am, to be honest. We're getting to that age where they say, oh, you're in Sniper's Alley now, if you understand what that means. Once you get over 50, you're in Sniper's Alley.
Wow.
And we're at that age where I lost a good friend a few weeks ago. And but in my culture in England, when my father died, they closed the casket. I never got to say goodbye to him. I never got to touch his body. When my father-in-law died of COVID, our last words were on FaceTime, were like this. He was coming off a ventilator, and he asked me actually to sing Sit Down to him. And then, he came off the ventilator and he died. So it's like, but death is an amazing experience. When I got to Le Petit Mort, the lyrics, I wrote about death a lot on that record, because I got to hold my mother as she died. And it was a beautiful experience. And I was shocked. I was shocked that it was so obviously a birth. And I didn't grieve, because I got that experience that was like, oh my God, this is so obviously a birth. And it was transcendent. And that was what really a lot of Le Petit Mort was about different ways of approaching death to some degree.
We're rubbish at it in the West. It's like we're in complete and utter denial that anybody's going to die, and when they do, it's like a shock. And there's a whole mixture of an inability to cope and deal with it and accept it, which we seem to just still have no idea of how to change. It's very bizarre, something that is obviously going to happen to all of us, that we seem to have not managed to remotely come to terms with it. But yeah, in other cultures, they deal with it in a much better way. It's just, it's strange. It's odd.
I have a novel coming out called When I Died for the First Time. And the cover has, very faintly in the background, you can see some Day of the Dead skeletons in the background, for the same reason, I think, which was a celebration, a connected death, basically.
Okay, thanks guys. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lou.